Here we are. We got Jonathan on the phone, on the screen. How are you, Jonathan?
Doing awesome. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we're gonna dive in. Gonna ask some questions. First of all, thank you for spending some time with us today. We're just gonna talk a little bit about your experience. Got some great questions for you, and I'll get you on your way because I know you're busy because you know you run a business, right? So.
Fair enough.
All right, man. All right. Well, hey, why don't we start with just telling us a little bit about, what you do, what your business is about. I think that's a good place to start.
Well, I do as little as possible, and my business is about giving me freedom. But I want to mess with you, obviously. Really, I run the podcast factory. Myself and my wife run the podcast factory. It's a podcast agency where we help people that we believe in. Like, we meet different people and they have different messages, and we choose to work with the folks who resonate with us. And maybe they need to be better known. Maybe they're trying to take their expert level to the next level, and so that's kind of what we help with. And I am serious when I say I do as little as possible, meaning I try to create systems and try to build a self-managing company as best as I can.
That's awesome. Very cool. So you've gone through ClientKit. Now you're in upper echelon. So you're leveling up for sure. Can you tell us real quick though, what was your business like before you started working with, Chris and Taylor?
It wasn't what I wanted it to be. That's why I hired them, even though it took too long to do it. But it was okay. It just wasn't doing what I thought it should be doing. And I knew that there was something I was missing. And I felt like Chris and Taylor brought that to the table. They were actually my clients before I was theirs. And so I actually got a behind the scenes look, and I really vetted them before I started working with them. That's why it took a while. It was like 6 months or so that we were watching them and seeing how they work, and then decided to jump on board. And so now, yeah, we have momentum and we are moving in the right direction, thanks to their guidance, Chris and Taylor. And thanks for the environment in CK, and then in UE, we're just around the right people. And I'll tell you, one of my favorite things is that I've always been doing this growth thing for the last 10 or 15 years, but having my wife in on it and seeing the change in her has really been priceless. To see her start thinking bigger and start thinking about hitting the next level has kind of renewed my vigor and my interest in the business.
I love that. Okay, so you said it took you too long. You were with Taylor and Chris for like 6 months while helping us build Smartest Guys in Marketing podcast. I guess what did it feel like when you finally made that decision? Like, were you nervous, relieved, were you excited, all the above?
What's funny about it is it's the biggest single investment that we just laid out. And so my wife and I had to look at it. We had to think about it, discuss it, figure out if it made sense. And it was scary. And that was part of what made us jump all in on it, was because we both knew we made a big investment. We made the decision together, and then we both went to work on this stuff. So she's keeping me moving, I'm keeping her moving. And so we're working together. And so that was fun. We were scared, and it was rough. I mean, Chris, and not so much Chris, Taylor just tore down my business for a while. And it kind of hurt to see that reality of some of the weak spots that were brought out into the spotlight. But that's what you need, right? And so, yeah, we've grown. We had like 3 months, our first 3 months in ClientKit, we didn't even make a sale, which had a lot to do with my mindset, had a lot to do with us retooling everything. Um, but then everything's been getting better. I mean, now I'm in a place where, yeah, we have our momentum cycle. We're going to go down, we're going to come back up, and I'm okay with that because I know that we're moving forward. And so now I feel like we're more in control of the business.
Yes. So how, tell us a little bit more. You're more in control of the business. You said it even took like, 3 months to really get your first sale, get some revenue. Tell us like how much has the revenue though increased since before CK?
I was just looking because I'm doing some work with my numbers, and for the last 3 months, I think. This month was a little bit slow, but we've been retooling again, getting ready for some new stuff. But I think the last 3 months we're double what we were when we started, and we've got some new stuff starting that is going to take that up, and that's why we were retooling. We had to get ready because now we got some paid traffic going. We've got an agency helping with us. Part of what I've figured out in UE was what I should be doing in the business as a leader is different than what I was doing back then as kind of like I was really more working in my business. And so I'm elevating my game now to be more of a leader for the team and a visionary for the direction. And so what's interesting, you ask about the income. Sure, the income has doubled, and I mean, it's okay. It's not a big deal. What's cool about it is that this is one of the big goals we had for many years, and we've hit it. So that's cool. But what weirded Chris and Taylor out when they spoke to me was when they asked me how much time I had to dedicate to this. And I'm like 20 hours a week. And they're like, what? Get out. They almost wanted to shame me because I wanted fewer hours and they weren't used to hearing that. And I was dead ass serious that I wasn't going to work more to build a business. And so, fact is, typically I'm working 3, 5 hours less. So we're making more money. I'm working less. And so I'm hitting my goals.
That's amazing. So it's just like more peace of mind, more freedom in the business, and you've been able to see that growth not just in like, the business, but also even like you said, even your wife has just like gone to a whole new level, and her like mindset or her goals, like her vision has just grown a lot. How does that feel?
Yeah, look, we're having fun right now. And that's really what this is about. We have a little boy. He's going to be 4. And what I've been thinking about lately is not just this little bit of my journey that I've been on with Chris, Taylor, CK, all you guys, but the bigger picture, like just we didn't have any idea that eventually Rachel would be able to come into the business full time when we had our kid. And we thought that she was going to have to go back to work. And so realizing that we actually have the freedom that we've dreamt about for so many years, sometimes you got to step back and look at that. And then you say, oh, the past couple of weeks were maybe a little rough, but I'm like, damn, we're together all the time, growing a business. We have the same goals. We're with our kid. And it's like, yeah, I'm kind of winning. It's cool. We can deal with this slow month.
We're kind of winning, no big deal. Awesome. Let's dive into the dirty. Let's warn people. What was the biggest struggle? What do people need to know? What do they need to be prepared for?
Well, I can only speak from where I came into this. And so most of the time I've spent with my online business has been as a behind the scenes fellow. And so I work with some very big names. I've had joint ventures with some very cool partners, and I was always behind the scenes. And coming into CK in particular, when we had to do the organic stuff, and I had to come from behind the curtain and step up and be like the showman and the leader and all that stuff, my mind was so blocked on that. I mean, a lot of the other stuff was easy for me to get, like morning formula, and yeah, we got to do a webinar, and I thought I was just going to come in and run ads and make bank, and to realize that I had to reinvent how I was approaching the market and using organic to do that and putting myself out in the front was very uncomfortable. And I think that's why I had a slow start. On top of that, I had some mindset issues, and this is why I'm really happy about where Rachel is right now. I had some mindset issues with my pricing, and when I came in, the first thing they told me to do was double my prices. And I was like, what? I can't do that. That's ridiculous. Honey, can we double our prices? No, we can't do that. We're both like, no way. And so that was super difficult. And what that caused was the slow progression because I was dealing with raising my prices and I didn't even believe in myself that much and having to put myself out there more. And so there was a lot of stuff going on. And then I have Taylor insulting me, telling me, you're no direct response marketer. And I'm like, F you, man. And that kind of flipped a switch, lit a fire under my butt. And I'm like, I'll show you direct response, son. But that was what needed to happen. right? And so I struggled with that. Different people struggle with different stuff. I didn't struggle on the phone because once I got my confidence, we started closing and closing, and we're like, holy crap, we started closing at this. It got so easy to close at the doubled price, and I'm like, I got 50% more. I'm gonna up the prices again, and then I hit my roadblock again and had to deal with, oh my God, is it really worth this? But every step of the way, if you commit to it, you're growing because it's like your muscles, right? When you go to the gym and you work them out, you tear them and they grow back bigger. That's what this is psychologically in your business and sales and all that. Tears you down and you come back bigger if you follow the process.
That's so true. I'm just curious to see like all the growth that you guys have experienced over this process. Like, I don't know, where do you think you guys would be if you hadn't joined ClientKit in upper echelon and worked with Taylor and Chris?
Oh, we'd still be right where we were. We wouldn't have had any progress, and I wouldn't be assuming this new leadership position, and I'd still be wondering what the hell's going on.
Mm. And now you're even in upper echelon. Can you can you just say a little bit about what the difference is? Why did you even jump to upper echelon?
Because the smartest guys in marketing were pre-selling me before I even got into CK. They're like, UE. I'm like, I just got in CK. What is UE? I want UE. I mean, I want growth, and I look for any opportunity. That's why I'm really well connected in my space, and it's because I'm always looking for the right mentors who can lead me down the right path. And when I see that opportunity to work with someone that I admire, that is doing the things I want to do, I jump on that. And so it took a little while because the CK thing was a kind of a big deal, but we knew we were going to UE like that. It was already done. It was a matter of time. And so we got our systems in place and everything. And I'm like, I want to be in that room. That's the room I want to be in, because already there was a point where me personally, and I don't hang out in CK much anymore. I'm kind of guilty of that. I should drop back in there. But there was a point where I felt like I outgrew the questions and the calls and stuff like that. I love the environment. I love to see people winning. But look, 5, 10, 15,000, $20,000 a month. Oh, okay. I want to go over there where the 100K a month people are, so I can get up to that level. And so that we already knew we were going to do. And the reason was, we love to be around the people that think like us, and there's not many people that understand us in the world. Like, what do? You do what? Like, I'm sitting here in my office and we're doing this interview and somehow making money, and normal people don't understand this. Average, ordinary people will not get it. That's why you have to put yourself in the best possible position for success by being around those people. The people in UE think bigger than me. I want to go learn how they're thinking so I can think like that too. That was all it ever was to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let's say that there's a Jonathan Rivera. He's sitting on the fence. He's looking in. He's in maybe a similar situation or position that you were in. In order to help them make the right decision, what advice would you give them? Because there's probably a Jonathan Rivera out there that's watching this video right now. What would you say to that person?
I mean, it really depends on them. It depends on if you're able to learn and execute from other people. I'd say that instead of buying a course and trying to learn to do everything yourself, it's better to invest in the environment. And so I found a bigger bang for my dollar. I've invested in all kinds of courses and all kinds of other stuff to raise my skills, and I think you have to do that so that you consistently get better. But if you're looking for specific growth, sales growth, and really just bigger growth in your company, then investing in your environment is a better ROI for you.